Body is the nose. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs that cause congestion, colds, and flu, so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Experience Navage at zero risk. Go to Navage.com, buy Navage, and use it for a month. If you're not delighted, return it for a full refund. There's nothing to lose and a lifetime of better breathing to gain. Navage, N-A-V-H-E-E.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network. A teenage girl is dead after police say she was shot in the face and leg by another teenage girl on the west side of Columbus last night. The victim and the other girl were involved in some kind of fight. Police say the girl pulled out a gun and shot the victim in a parking lot, then drove off. Health officials are reporting a COVID-19 outbreak among people who attended a church retreat in Ohio several weeks ago. Here's ONN's Daniel Barnett.
Dayton and Montgomery County public health officials said more than 800 people attended the Baptist Church retreat at Camp Chautauqua in Miamisburg from June 27th to July 3rd. The retreat included churches from Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana. Officials said at least 30 cases among attendees living in Ohio and Kentucky have been identified so far. Officials are asking anyone who may have attended to contact them or their local health department. Daniel Barnett, ONN News.
Pandemic relief for parents is on the way this week. Tracy Townsend with O&N affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus has more.
The new child tax credit will start hitting bank accounts Thursday as part of the American Rescue Plan signed by President Biden. Families can get up to $300 a month. That's set to expire at the end of the year.
These upcoming monthly payments are considered to be an advance on eligible parents' tax returns next year. Eligible taxpayers can opt out of the advance payments and take the money all during tax season if they wish. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Step up your career with an MBA from Ohio Dominican University. At Ohio Dominican, you can earn your MBA 100% online in just 16 months. With 7 high-demand concentrations, including data analytics, risk management, and now healthcare administration, an MBA from Ohio Dominican fits your professional goals. It's also one of the most affordable programs in the region. Classes start soon. Get started at ohiodominican.edu/MBA.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or mail-in rebate. See store for details.
We live for piles of paper, countless calculations, and exact on-the-button balances. More than a phone call at the end of the year to make sure you're square with Uncle Sam. We're an internal resource to run payroll, manage bookkeeping, handle accounts payable, prep and file taxes, and consult for the long-term financial health of your business. Always exact. Glessner & Associates.
Value starts here at your Toyota dealer with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out a RAV4 now with up to $750 cash back, or a Camry with up to $1,250 cash back, or go with a Corolla and take up to $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com and find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end August 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places. Value starts here at your Toyota dealer with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out a RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or an all-wheel drive Venza Hybrid now with $1,000 cash back, or go with a Highlander now with $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great deals. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end August 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Isolated thunderstorms, otherwise clouds and sunshine through the afternoon. A daytime high near 84. Overnight low of 71 degrees under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Clouds and limited sunshine for your Wednesday, with a few showers on and off. A daytime high near 82. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning. It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action. Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
Celebrating the 100 days of summer, this is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
70 degrees, clear skies at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 71 and sunny. Here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, 70 and clear at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. As you heard Darnell mention, we're going to see mostly sunny day, but some rain could come in this afternoon. Going to be very muggy once again. High today up to around 84 degrees. Boy, Biff, we had a good boomer overnight. I'm not talking about fireworks in my neighborhood this time.
Yeah, apparently I didn't hear the thunder. I know it was raining, but I didn't hear the thunder or see the lightning. I know about 10 o'clock last night storms rolled through, but just didn't hear the one overnight. But I knew it was raining because I could at least hear that.
I didn't hear the thunder, although I think just because the windows were closed. I came out of a deep sleep because the lightning was just flashing. I thought, like, was my phone flashing to give me an alarm or alert or something? What's this light flashing? And then how about that? It's a storm outside. And then, then I could hear the rain coming down. So I guess it was a pretty good one overnight last night. But that's all, as far as I can tell, faded away, looking clear and sunny around here, pretty much everywhere. 70 the outdoor temperature. What do you got inside, Biffy? You had a really hot day yesterday inside.
Yeah, it's 86.
Oh, you're a little warmer today than you were yesterday.
Yeah, about a degree.
Yikes. And you got all your fans and the dehumidifiers and stuff for trying to dry out from the big flood last week, still working too?
Well, the only good thing is it's a little quieter in here because they, I guess, turn the fans off, but everything else, everywhere else is still going and still kicking.
For those of you who didn't catch it one day last week, some of the work being done, I guess, on a water line outside the radio station caused a flood, a literal flood through our building. Of course, I work from home all the time, so I knew it was actually, I was there the day of the flood. But they were doing all this, preparation work, restoration work, and I stopped in on Sunday to see things. Whoa! Our building is a bit of a mess right now. All the carpeting, no, not all the carpeting is up, which is a scary thing, but carpeting is up, and the studio's a mess, and it's like all of this, and we got these big machines all through the building trying to clean things up, and it's all being done. It's all being taken care of. I mean, that's a good thing, and poor Biff just standing there working hard. Like the soldier that he is, standing post, Biffy.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean,
it was 86.
What do you want me to say? I'm in an 86-degree studio with fans running outside. I mean, what more you want me to do?
I'm appreciating your hard work, Biffy. I mean it sincerely. You're standing your post, and that's important. I suppose since it's 86 in there, you are not drinking any coffee this morning.
No, if I'm drinking anything, it's going to try and be cold stuff, but I mean, who knows how long?
Very long,
yeah, I mean, who knows how long it's going to stay cold?
I am myself drinking out of the. Oh man, I lose the video screen here. For those of you watching video, you saw that. If you're not watching video, you wonder what I'm muttering about. Lost my coffee cup on the video screen. I'm drinking out of the official Watchdog Morning Show coffee mug. And I am having some coffee this morning. ABC had a story which I had not heard before, that the price of coffee is going up, and they listed 4 or 5 different things involving, coffee bean countries and all that kind of stuff. But I guess the price of coffee is going up. I have a couple items here I was going to share with you about coffee anyway. Northwestern University researchers have found that consumption of at least 1 cup of regular coffee every day means a lower risk of COVID infection. That's the first time I've heard a study connect caffeine or coffee with COVID infection. They say they adjusted for factors like race and sex and age and so on, and medical conditions. And they found, and I quote here, habitual consumption of 1 or more cups of coffee per day was associated with about a 10% decrease in risk of COVID-19 compared to less than 1 cup per day. So drink a cup or more of coffee a day and it decreases your chance of COVID-19. So I'm thinking if you're one of those idiots, people that are not going to get a vaccine, I'm not going to get a vaccine, start drinking some coffee. At least it might help you a little bit. 10% decrease in your risk of COVID-19 if you drink a cup of coffee or more. If you and I have talked about this before with coffee, I can't drink coffee much after lunchtime. And you stop drinking coffee somewhat earlier in the day too, right? When you are drinking coffee.
I can't drink coffee. I can't drink coffee till past 4 dinner time, because if not, I'll have a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah, usually if I drink, I can drink, and if I'm out having lunch someplace, I usually have 1 cup of coffee after lunch. And I try and get decaf, but sometimes I have regular. I can have 1 cup of coffee around lunchtime. After that, it's a problem. And we've talked about this before. But Wall Street Journal report I was reading yesterday, they say, a new report says don't drink coffee after noon, after 12 p.m. The Sleep for Health Managing Company and their director, Dr. Carmel Harrington, says consuming coffee any later in the day can be detrimental to your sleep at night. You should stop drinking caffeine right around noon, and, quote, it's especially important if you're in the over 35 group. Well, what if you're almost double that? I guess it's really important for people like me then. But be careful with your caffeine intake after noon, she says. And I always am. Every once in a while, by mistake, I'll have a drink of caffeine or maybe some chocolate or something before bedtime. Oh, man, does that just drive me crazy. Anyways, Wall Street Journal piece on that. I just thought I'd share that with you. And finally, on the food front, Biffy, today is National French Fry Day. So a good reason for you to, pardon me, stop by your favorite burger joint or whatever to pick up some French fries. 83% of Americans like French fries. Makes sense. I don't know too many people who dislike them. Some people might not like them, but 83% dislike them. 4% of people, 83% of Americans like them. 4% dislike them. 12% go, I don't know. They don't care. Interesting. French fries are the second most popular dish in America. Number 1 are hamburgers, and number 2, French fries. Of course, the two go together, burger and fries. Do you want fries with that? So the second most popular dish in America, French fries. It is also, when the question, let me ask you this question. There are surveys out here on this. This is, French fries are number 2 on this list, I'll tell you that. What's the one food you can't live without? It's the one food you can't live without, Biff.
I'll probably generalize it, but chocolate.
Okay, that's a good answer. The number 1 answer of people in the survey here, pardon me again, folks, is pizza. I can't live without pizza. Now, I love pizza, but I got to be honest. If we go through a big run of pizza here at home, 2 or 3 days in a row sometimes, I'm done with it for a while. I can definitely live without pizza. I love pizza, don't get me wrong. The number 1 answer is pizza. Number 2, French fries. The food people can't live without. I love French fries. I truly do. But if I never ate another French fry in my life, it would be okay with me. I would be fine about that. All right, how about this one, Biffy? Which is the best fast food French fry?
McDonald's.
It's the number 1 answer in this survey. McDonald's is number 1, followed by Chick-fil-A. It seems to be up there for everything. Chick-fil-A is number 2. Five Guys, they've got good ones. Wendy's, we've had French fries from Wendy's recently, and boy, they've been really good. And then comes Arby's. Now, Arby's only has the curly fries, I think, right? And I like curly fries, but I don't really put them in the same category. In fact, when it comes to the style of French fries, most popular are, quote, regular fries. Curly fries come in second. Then comes steak cut, crinkle, and waffle fries, rounding out the top 5. So just some things I thought you might want to know here on National French Fry Day. 7:20 in the morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 71 degrees at the airport, 70 at the airport, 71 here at the home studio. Now you may say, all fun and games, Howard, coffee and French fries and your throat. And somebody will text me any minute and say, don't clear your throat on the air, and I have no choice. I'm going to hear from home, and I got to clear my throat on the air. What's coming up seriously today? Grassroots groups here in the Upper Ohio Valley are lobbying for increased paid family leave. We are going to talk today to local activist Amy Jo Hutchison and Kelly Allen from the Center on Budget and Policy about how important family leave can be for individuals and for small businesses. New child care tax credit takes effect just this week. Mary Schuerman will look at the meaning of this child care tax credit for Buckeye State residents. Governor Justice has removed most of his COVID restrictions, of course. We're all out doing what we want to, no masks, no whatever. But the governor himself continues holding his own press events inside the gubernatorial bubble, if you will. Ogden newspaper reporter Stephen Adams wrote about that this week, and he's joining us to talk about the governor and his behind-the-remote press conferences. Guess who quit yesterday, Biffy?
I don't know.
Bray the intern.
Oh, okay.
Bray the intern, top gubernatorial aide Bray Carey, said he's leaving the governor's office and he's going to go off into some private business ventures. So we'll talk about that. Fallout continues over the Delegate Joe Jeffries crass TikTok video. We'll get into that. Tom Squitieri is going to be here with our D.C. update, among other things. Texas Dems are fleeing the state in Texas to prevent action on a voting rights bill. House Dems in the nation's capital are looking at a spending bill that does not include the Hyde Amendment. That's the anti-abortion amendment. Tom is in a little less than an hour from now to talk to us about that. Plus, what are your greatest simple pleasures? I've got a poll on that. And things parents still pay for their adult kids. It's kind of interesting. You know, you just can't ever get rid of your kids. You're always paying something for them. My kids make more money than I do, but I'm still paying for things. So we'll talk about that. Top of the morning is coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. A couple of interesting tidbits I want to make sure you're aware of as you go about and start your day. We'll get to that straight ahead on the Watchdog Morning Show. 7:23 right now.
The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live.
If you have that Ohio news piece, I'll use that in this segment. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm sorry for your problems up there. Well, at least the fans aren't rolling, but 86, that's got to be, geez, sorry about that. Nothing I can do about it. I wish I could help you, but I don't know what to do. Yeah. I actually had, it's hot. It's not 86, don't get me wrong. It's hot here in my home studio. I had to turn the fan on this morning, too. This room does not have air conditioning here in the house. The air conditioning in the house is on, and it might seep through, but I don't have any vents in this room, so when I close the doors, I have no AC, so I've got my fan on, so lots of fan noise both ways today. I've got Tom at 8:10, Stephen at 8:40, and at 9:10, I know you don't like this, but I've got two guests, Amy, Joe, and Kelly Allen are both going to call in at 9:10, so we'll make that work somehow. And other than that, it's you and me, pal. We always do, one way or another. Yeah, well, let's hope so. He's been pretty good lately. Did you got news from Channel 7 today, didn't you? Yeah, I didn't see it in my. Usually I get a copy of it too, and I didn't see it. I may have just missed it. So. Okay, well, maybe a lot of stuff goes into my spam folder anymore when it shouldn't. So that maybe they did that. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I just like to see. I like to see what they're, working on, just so I know what they're going to be talking about. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so it's nothing I'm dealing with. I always hate to do a story and then turn it over to them and, discover they've got it right there at the top, so. Exactly, yep.
Provide insight into the events that shape who we are. My approach is tough but fair, and we may disagree, but together we'll stay abreast of what's going on in our great state. Successes, the hardships, the challenges, and of course the politics that contribute to making us who we are. So join me weekdays, 10:06 till noon for Metro News Talk Line.
You can vote in our Watchdog poll and read commentary in our blogs on watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
70 degrees and clear skies at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 71 and sunny here at my home studios, and 70 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley, we had some storms overnight. We're going to see a muggy day today. Some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm expected this afternoon. 84 a predicted high. The full details coming up in just a tad with Zach Petty from the Big 7 WTRF TV. But let's get going with a look at what's happening top of the morning this morning.
Here's the news you'll be talking about all day. Top of the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on in Weirton. The city manager quit last night and says the city council is violating the Sunshine Law with their executive sessions. The story comes to me only from the Big 7, so that's where I have my information. City Manager Joe D. Bartolomeo accused multiple members of council of violating state law on executive sessions. He says multiple council members improperly went into executive session, and he didn't make the accusations just here. He says he's provided documentation about this to other authorities, and litigation could be coming. He says he sent the info to the Ohio County Prosecutor's Office, so it's being investigated. Multiple council members after that got up, stormed out, left the room. Then they didn't have a quorum, couldn't conduct business anymore, and apparently the city manager said he's resigning. So, yikes. I don't know what's happening in Weirton. Only know what I read here on the Big 7, and what I hear on the Big 7. Channel 7 reporters say they're working to assess the allegations, and hopefully they'll have more later on. We may get a bit more when we talk to Bob Westphal from the Big 7 at the tail end of the show today. Morning Intel tells me Wheeling Park High School getting 57 cameras installed. Over 100 cameras going to be installed throughout Ohio County. These are kind of monitors for students. School board president David Croft said, are we making sure with all these cameras that only the right eyes are going to be on the cameras? And that's a pretty, security with this would be a pretty big thing, but school board was assured that the cameras are being properly monitored, that security systems are in place, but a total of 100 monitors. So Big Brother will be watching in the Ohio County school system. Fallout is continuing over the Joe Jeffries story in West Virginia. That's the Republican delegate from Putnam County that had an unbelievably crass TikTok video. He has pulled it from the public's eye since it became public. He's pulled it so you can't look at it now, where, among other things, he was discussing how to perform oral sex. The governor called for his resignation. The House Speaker, Roger Hanshaw, has demoted him on his committees and so on. The majority leader, Amy Summers, said that, I like the way she says it, his TikTok presence is impossible to unsee, and he's offended people both inside and outside the Capitol, making him ineffective in helping his constituents. That's an interesting phrase. Amy Summers says, what he may think is harmless joking in his free time, many others see as crude and unbecoming of an elected official. So there's no question that, and I would certainly concur with that. So I don't know if there are problems. I should be careful because I'm not sure. He may not care. But certainly the criticism of Delegate Jeffries continues to grow. And it didn't show, as far as I know, it didn't show up on late night comedy last night, Biff, but it will. I'm guaranteeing you the next day or two it'll show up as a late night joke. I tell you someone we've kind of joked a lot about, Brother Biff. Bray the intern. Y'all know Bray the intern. You know Bray the intern, right?
Yes.
I mean, Bray Carey used to be the head honcho and chief bigwig of Channel 7 and all of the what are now Nexstar media stations in West Virginia. But Bray used to own them and run all of those. And then he ended up going to work for the governor, and he wasn't paid at all. And there were some questions about, well, can you really go to work for the governor without some kind of a formal deal? So I think he took a minimum wage, basically. And so we called him Bray the intern. Bray the intern, first a citizen volunteer, then a senior advisor, has now left the governor's office. He wants to pursue business ventures, so who knows what he's going to get into. He said the up-close experience with government gave him a very different view of things than he had going in. I would imagine working for Governor Justice gives you a different view of things than you even could have dreamed of before you went in. So Bray the intern is leaving. And in Ohio, the impact of the new child care tax credit is being assessed. New child care tax credit goes into effect for everybody all across the country, part of the American Rescue Plan. I think it's the 15th, which will be what, Friday, Biff?
Thursday.
Today's the 13th, right? Thursday, yeah.
Yep.
All right. So the new child care tax credit goes into effect. It's going to mean more cash in the pockets of parents and family members with certain income restrictions. And it's going to be very helpful to people all across the country. But our reporter, Mary Schuerman, took a look at particularly the impact of it on Ohio citizens.
Many Ohio families will soon be getting some extra cash to keep up with the cost of raising their kids. The 2021 Child Tax Credit expansion passed as part of the American Rescue Plan Act provides $3,600 per year for each child under age 6 and $3,000 for kids age 6 through 17. Executive Director of Washington Morgan County Community Action, David Brightbill, says half of the money is being doled out in monthly payments starting Thursday, July 15th, and will continue monthly through the end of the year.
As the unemployment benefits end, it's going to help families who are still struggling with high rent, with food costs going up. It'll put the money in their pockets that they might have gotten when they filed their income tax after the first of the year.
Ohio is one of more than a dozen states that terminated the extra $300 weekly pandemic unemployment benefit early. Governor Mike DeWine said the decision was based on the need for workers, but a lawsuit is currently challenging the decision as unlawful. Families will receive monthly payments of $250 per child between ages 6 through 17 and $300 per child under age 6. The remainder of the money will come when taxes are filed next year. Brightbill notes that families not earning any income are also eligible.
It's fully refundable, so if you wouldn't have been paying enough income tax to get it refunded, it's still fully refundable. So the families will get whatever amount that they're eligible for.
13% of Ohioans were living in poverty prior to the COVID-19 crisis, and Brightbill says as people lost jobs during the pandemic, the need for basic supports increased.
We've gone through quite literally hundreds of thousands of dollars since the first part of November last year, helping with rent and mortgages and utilities. And then for our senior nutrition program, we almost doubled the number of home-delivered meals because people couldn't get out.
Community action agencies in Ohio are educating the families they serve about the credit and helping those who need to sign up for the benefit. About 39 million U.S. households will receive the new child tax credit, which is expected to cut child poverty in half. Mary Sherman, Ohio News Connection. Find our 8 trust indicators to support transparency and accuracy at publicnewsservice.org.
And although Mary was looking particularly in Ohio, the child care tax credit does take effect for everybody with the right income guidelines and so on across America on Thursday. 7:35, 25 till the hour, around 70 degrees this morning. Going to have a high around 84. We'll get that full forecast for you with Zach coming up in a minute or two. And Texas Democrats are on the run. I mean, they're running out of state. They're doing it on purpose because they're trying to stymie a voting rights vote in the Lone Star State. We'll talk about that and more in our political insights coming up in just a bit. Right now, let's get a few more headlines from our friends at the Berg 7 WTRF TV.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's
If, as always, I can do another break if you need it.
Sportscaster Pierre McGuire in the news. He is the new Senior Vice President of Player Development for the Ottawa Senators. McGuire, if some of you remember, was an assistant coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 1992 when the Penguins won a Stanley Cup. Some bad news for the United States men's Olympic basketball team. Another loss, their second in a row. Monday they were defeated by Australia 91-83. The good news? It's just an exhibition game. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
I'm not buying till I checked on for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards.
Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
There's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I love living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Catch Biff Leonard on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio. Just the way you like it.
We're on air, online, on video, and on demand. Find us where you like us. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
It should come as no surprise because Donald Trump has a history of throwing his friends under the bus. But you will remember that the CFO of the Trump organization has been indicted in New York, and he was a longtime friend and confidant of Donald Trump, but he's been removed from his position. We'll talk about that coming up in our political insight section in just a bit here on the Watchdog Morning Show. But let's talk about the weather right now. Zach Petty, it was a heck of a I'll bet you must have probably been in the midst of that storm when you were driving to work, right?
Oh, my goodness. I was coming on I-70 right in your neck of the woods, right past that Elm Grove section, and I was going up the hill towards the Bethlehem exits. And I was actually getting nervous that my car was going to start hydroplaning going uphill. I'm like, oh, geez, what's going to happen? Am I going to slide back down or what? It was just raining cats and dogs, that's for sure.
And I didn't hear a lot of thunder, probably just because the windows were closed, but man, it was a good light show I saw as well through the windows, just flashing and blamming out there.
Oh, yeah, it was a spectacle for sure. I was passing some areas along my drive into work, and I saw some decent lightning bolts and heard some decent boomers, too. Actually, one that jarred me real quick. I was just passing the Bethlehem exit going downhill now towards the Ohio border, and it like jerked my car. I was like, oh geez, up on the Wheeling Hill here, someone got a decent lightning bolt. Hopefully it didn't damage anyone's house or anything, but definitely a decent soaking rain early on, but not too bad outside right now. Partly to mostly cloudy, some instances and pockets of sun that I'm seeing on my satellite imagery right now. So all is calm and quiet as of now for the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nice outside the windows here at my home studios. Looks like it's actually the sun's out and it's clear. We're right around 70 degrees. Going to get muggy again today, though, right?
We're going to be staying muggy too, Howard. It's Brother Biff and I were just talking. He says, I would have thought that with those rain showers moving in, that would have dropped the mugginess. And typically, in normal circumstances, that's the case. But since we have such high water counts and high moisture content here at the surface, it's just not providing any sort of relief from the mugginess due to the southwesterly winds here at the surface. And it's just going to be another downright oppressively muggy pit dripper weather with the dew points staying right around that oppressively muggy category in the low 70s.
So just we'll have to live with it. Are we going to see more rain today?
I think we'll see mainly dry conditions, but some very scattered showers and storms, kind of similar to what we had yesterday. A couple of those showers and storms did fire up right here in the Panhandle in southeastern Ohio, but I think scattered and taking that with a lesser account. I think our better chance for showers were early on this morning. I think a lot of the storms actually brought out or took away a lot of the energy that was available. So the recent model trends and discussions that I'm reading showing a drier trend as we continue on into the afternoon, but I think most of the region will remain dry, but still best chances for any rain will be late in the day, right around dinner and through the evening hours.
And as we talked yesterday, tomorrow will likely be a particularly rainy day, correct?
Yeah, and we're going to continue to trend that way as of now. I'm seeing mostly rain for the morning and afternoon. No relief in mugginess, but it'll be a bit cooler. We have high temperatures today in the mid-80s. We'll drop down to the low 80s for Wednesday with, again, those scattered showers throughout our region.
And Thursday, Brother Biff's golfing day, he may be able to get it in, right? It's going to be a dry day probably on Thursday.
Yeah, shaping up to be the best day of this upcoming work week. Mainly dry conditions. I don't even have any precipitation or any words to talk about precip on Thursday. I'm calling it partly cloudy to mostly sunny with a couple of clouds around. Temperatures back in the mid-80s. The only issue that Brother Biff will run into is that the air will be heavy, so the ball won't travel as hard or won't travel as far just because we're going to be staying a bit muggy. But I'm sure he's okay with all of that as long as he's able to get out and not have to worry about being soaked like he was last Thursday.
Well, and the temperatures, let's see, Thursday we're looking at mid-80s probably by evening time when he goes out, perhaps in the 70s, which is going to be a lot cooler than he has right now in his studio. What is it, Biff? You still at 86 in there?
Yep. Oh, wow.
Okay. So he's got his own muggy issue to contend with. And then real quick, Zach, the weekend, looks like some rain comes back for the weekend, yes?
Yeah, it looks like most of the day on Friday should actually be relatively dry and nice. Looks like showers and storms will start to develop late in the evening. That's thanks to a cold front that's expected to sweep through, dropping our temperatures down into the low 80s, and I do expect to finally feel the reprieve from the mugginess late Saturday afternoon. Maybe by Sunday we'll start to finally see some relief in mugginess, a scattered shower still lingering early on Sunday morning, and then hopefully I'm liking the trend again as we head into the next work week. I know we still got to get through this one in Ohio Valley. We're only on Tuesday, but hey, we'll plug through. But as we look ahead to the next work week, if we're trying to find some sort of a positivity, looks like we could be trending in a dry span, a dry week with a nice relief. No more rain to talk about hopefully by the next work week, and I think everyone will be sick of the rain at least by next week with the amount of rain that we could be seeing as we head into the weekend. So hopefully we trend and stay that way.
Sounds good. Biff and I were talking earlier this morning. Today is National French Fry Day.
Oh, okay.
You like French fries?
Yeah, I like anything carbohydrates. Bread, fries, potato, you name it, I'll eat it.
Of the fast food places, where do you think you get the best fries at?
Oh, best fries. And I'm going to go a bit different probably than what the generic people would say. I actually like Popeye's French fries the best.
See, I've never been to a Popeye's, so I hope one comes around here one of these days. It all looks good on TV, but I've never tried Popeye's at all, so I can't. What is it about Popeye's fries?
Go ahead.
No. So you like Arby's too, huh?
Yeah, they would probably be my number two. It would probably be Popeyes, and then Arby's would be the number two. I just like the the curly French fries. I mean, nothing can beat the curly French fry dipped in the spicy 3-pepper sauce, in my opinion.
It is
Now
good. I do like the
hungry,
curly
Howard.
fries from Arby's.
Yeah.
The
Now
number
you get me
one fry,
hungry.
according to a survey that I have here, is McDonald's. The number one fast food fry is McDonald's.
Not a fan.
Chick-fil-A comes in number two. Honest to God, sometimes I think Chick-fil-A must pay people to rank them high in surveys. They're always, number one or number two in all kinds of customer surveys. Five Guys comes in at number three, and I do like Five Guys. Among other things, they just give you a lot of French fries.
True. That is very true.
And then number four is Wendy's.
Nah.
Yeah. Number four is Wendy's, and number five is Arby's. So,
Okay.
I've been eating Wendy's fries a lot lately. I think they're really great. Actually, not on this list, and I don't go there very often. I went to Hardee's one day this week, out on the road, and their fries were really good, extremely good. Now, I mentioned that to my wife because the next day I said, "Oh, these aren't as good." I think we had fries at McDonald's or someplace. I said, "Oh, they're not as good as the ones we had yesterday." She said, "No, that's because Hardee's puts a lot of salt on them." And I got yelled at for eating too much salt.
Never win.
There you go. Never win. You can never win. All right, well, listen, have yourself a good National French Fry Day today. Stay cool and try to stay not too muggy, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right, sounds good, gentlemen. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy some French fries.
There you go. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV, with us every morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show, and, of course, with us before the morning show on the WTRF TV 7 Morning News from 6 to 7 o'clock, which you can watch on Channel 7, but you also can listen to here on the radio in case the mood strikes you. You're up early and you're wandering around the house, maybe away from the TV set, turn the radio on, or turn us on via, I got to say her name quietly, Alexa. Not quite enough. Cancel. You can play us there. You can play us on TuneIn Radio, and then you can listen to the Big 7. The entire newscast from 6 to 7 o'clock. Live news on WTRF TV at noon. So if you're out and about during the daytime and you can't get to a TV and you want to catch the midday news, we go directly to the news desk of WTRF TV right at noon. And then 5 to 6 o'clock tonight. And every weeknight, we also have a complete hour-long newscast for you with the Big 7 from 5 to 5:30 and Mark Curtis and the Statewide Show from 5:30 until 6. So we give you lots of news, local news, statewide news, all here on the Watchdog. 7 before the hour and 70 degrees at the airport, 71 here at my home studios. Do I have to take a break, Biffy?
No, we got everything in.
We're in? Okay. A couple of political stories just want to talk about here real quick. Texas Democrats are leaving the state. They're getting out of Dodge, so to speak. This happened once before this past year, and I can't remember what state it was where they did this. But Texas Democrats who are in the state House Democrats, are leaving the state next week to block Republicans from passing a new voting law they want to pass. They're coming to the end of the special legislative session. If the Democrats leave, they don't have a quorum, so they can't take a vote. If the Democrats are there, they're going to lose the vote. They don't have enough votes to stop the bill from passing, but Democrats in the State House are a big enough group that if they leave, there will not be a quorum. So they're leaving the state. They plan to do that on Monday, and they're heading to the nation's capital on 2 chartered jets. They're getting far out of town because technically the Republican Party, the leadership of the House in Texas, could actually send out the deputies to bring them back, force them to come back. So they're going to head off to the nation's capital and hope they get away from the vote. This technique was used, Biffy, and I can't remember who it was used by, but some other state did this earlier this year, late last year, and I just can't remember who did that. But this is not it's not the first time this technique has been used. If you don't have enough votes to actually kill a bill, but you do have enough votes that you're required to be there for a quorum, get out of Dodge. And that's what Texas House Democrats are doing. Here's some more political news for you in our morning political insights from ABC.
Now your political insights from ABC News. Texas Democrats leaving Austin in the middle of a special session to block a Republican-led election reform bill for a second time. The president joining most Democrats pushing new national voting protections to counter false stolen election claims.
He'll call out the greatest irony of the big lie is that no election in our history has met such a high standard, with over 80 judges, including those appointed by his predecessor, throwing out all challenges.
President Biden saying new Republican legislator voting restrictions are threatening minority rights. The military and the president continue insisting they've accomplished the U.S. goal, get Osama bin Laden and eliminate the Afghan terrorist threat here at home. As for continued Afghan fighting,
this is their country, this is their fight. These are their people.
Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby saying the U.S. will continue supporting Afghanistan with money and weapons to fend off Taliban attacks. Those are your political insights. I'm Andy Field, ABC News.
And one more quick story off the political front I just can't help but share with you. I mentioned earlier, Donald Trump has a reputation for basically throwing his friends under the bus if he thinks it might help him. His loyalty is thin. Alan Weaselberg has been with the Trump organization since 1973, has been a loyal, dedicated, small f friend and employee of the Trump organization for all of those years. But he was indicted recently for essentially tax fraud. And Donald Trump, of course, Trump came out and said, "Wow, this is ridiculous. Everybody gives fringe benefits and doesn't pay taxes on them," which simply plain isn't true. You get fringe benefits, you got to pay taxes on them. And they kept two sets of books, which is always that's something, yeah, okay, you tell me it's a mistake, but you get two sets of books. Anyway, Weaselberg has been fired as director of the Trump organization, and some reports say he probably is still going to stay with Trump in some capacity, changing his title or something. But I'll be curious to see whether, these kind of things don't happen without Donald Trump's approval. So, again, throwing friends under the bus seems to be something that Trump is extremely, extremely good at. All right, just about 8 o'clock here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We'll probably talk more about the Texas Democrats running out of town with Tom Scudieri coming up in the next hour of the show, and other political news. One of the top generals in Afghanistan has stepped down. We'll talk about that with Tom and a few other. So Tom Scudieri, our DC Digest, coming up in the next hour of the show. And Stephen Adams will be updating us on the latest on Joe Jeffries in West Virginia, the TikTok delegate. But also, Stephen wrote a piece this week about the governor still holding his press conferences sort of behind the screen, if you will. He's still holding his press conferences remotely. Reporters have to call in, and they only get a question. The governor and his staff control the microphone, so there's no follow-up, there's no whatever. Stephen's got some thoughts about that. So Stephen Adams with us next hour as well. 70 degrees and 71 actually and sunny here at my home studios. It's 8 o'clock and ABC covers the world for us right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Dozens of wildfire.